For real, it's good to be back.
I see the shirt. I love it. I love
Oh
the
yeah,
shirt.
I was about to say we both rocking Spike Lee gear today, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
see it.
We
I
both
love
rocking
it.
Spike Lee gear. This is very intentional, 100% intentional. Got to start the year right. I'm proud of my dog, man.
Absolutely, man.
We
I
talked
appreciate
about it
that.
on this show. As soon as he said something about getting the merch out, put a date on it. Date came and passed. He got it done. Shirt came in the mail before 2025 even hit.
Nice. Good
Spike
Christmas.
got the hat on. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm
Absolutely.
proud of you for that, man. That's
I
what
have that
this.
commercial ready and then link out to y'all so y'all can go cop too as well. My homeboy at work pulled up on me. He had a hat on. So I
Yeah.
was like, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I
And I like it,
appreciate
man.
that.
It's good quality shirt, like the whole nine. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna cop more stuff, especially once you got the drop official. I'm sure you're gonna have more colorways, the whole nine, man. So it's a great way to even set the tone, especially for what our conversation is gonna be about today. But just man, it's we getting it. We getting it this year, Spike Lou. We getting it, bro. Like I'm for
We
real,
have
bro.
to.
Like it's a
No, we have
certain
to.
type of thing. But before we even get started, chapter 15, book 2. Another week in the books. It's been a while. I don't think we dropped an episode since December 13th.
Yeah, we've been off. I got a text about that. Like, nigga sent me the date. He was like, well, nigga, where y'all at?
Yeah, man. It's been 4 days. Nigga, where y'all at?
Where y'all at?
Damn near 4 weeks for real, man. So my apologies. Because even when we do take time off, it should be, I can do a better job of putting stuff on the social media feed, at least updating, letting people know what's going on. I run 3 different pages. Another week in the books, Culture Garden, and that. So I'm being a lot more intentional about things. So don't worry, we're gonna find the groove of the page. I'm still trying to figure out the flow of how I want to kind of run it and what kind of conversation we want to have. Because it's a very unique podcast compared to everything else I do. But either way, chapter 14, y'all can check it out if y'all haven't. Portia was on there. I want to give a shout out to Portia as well. Once again,
my girl Portia, man.
Yeah, man, the thing we locking in. Portia went straight to the lab, restarted the frequency. She's got a couple episodes out, the whole 9. So shout out to her, man. Really happy and proud of what she's doing. And we already mentioned she'll be on at least once a month. And we'll figure out the rest from there. So we'll have her on this month before everything settles up. And we back, man. We back officially. Here we are. Go ahead, Spike. I thought you were gonna say something.
I am.
Yeah. Chapter 15, man, and it's just this is the first episode of the year for us. I enjoyed the downtime. I want to ask you about that, Spike Lou. I don't know if you had the same kind of downtime as I did, but the week of Christmas and the week of New Year, I really didn't record. Me and Rachel did some another week in the book stuff, but compared to what my normal recording schedule looks like, that was a walk in the park. I got to enjoy some time. I just got to relax, refresh. Did you have that same opportunity, given that you have a ton of pods? And if so, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, a lot less working during those weeks, a lot less. We were shut down over at Dead End for 2 weeks. So no, I didn't have to record all day on Sundays. Dead End Sports took 2 weeks off. We took a couple weeks off. Good Earners took a couple weeks off. So yeah, it was a much lighter load than it usually is. It didn't really feel good. I like being like in the space of it. You know what I'm saying? I like being like I like doing it, yeah, because it, you can get to just sitting around and you're doing shit. And even though I could be in the gym or just doing other stuff, I hate being cold, 1. And 2, you get a little lazy. So I do this to keep me going, keep my wheels turning. So I appreciate it, the downtime. I appreciate it, the break, but I like being back in it. I'm getting back used to it now. Like this was the first full week, getting back into like having something to do every night now.
It sounds like you would. So would a perfect balance be I'm still recording multiple times a week, but maybe not as much? So let's say, how many days a week right now do you record?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
So 5 days a week. Do you enjoy the 5 days a week, or would your ideal situation be 3 to 4 days?
4 would be cool. 5 is a lot. Like 5 is every night I got something to do, and I may miss doing something else, like because I do have previous engagements or stuff I said I'd do. 4 is I feel like the right number. That's the sweet spot, especially when, like we talked about, which I'll admit I failed at last year. What we talked about as far as getting an additional content out there too, like
Yeah.
TikToks and fucking YouTube pages about stuff you and I may be interested in. I really appreciate what Mo says. There's a way that you guys can do that stuff, but you can do it in your
Yeah.
own way where you don't feel corny. So it's going to be a lot of thinking of what that looks like for me this year, because the content has to be a lot more purposeful in the sense of like clips of it and people consuming it and doing you sent a great text message, doing ourselves the justice for the talent that we have for people to be able to realize it versus, oh, I'm just gonna go do it because I'm good at it. I'm gonna go do it, knock it out. It's something to do on my list. I'm all right, make a little whatever from it, or I'm getting some type of pleasure from it. Versus now, if you good at it, like go and market, go and put it out there, go and give people the option to consume it, to hate you or love you, or whatever it may be. So I'm ready to take that step.
Nah, seriously, that's real. It's funny you say that. Everything's timely, man. I don't think anything's by mistake. When yesterday or today, I got a text message, or not a text message, an Instagram post, because I post a lot of stuff that I do as far as podcasts, but that's really about it. And someone texted me and said, we need to talk about your socials. Like, LOL. I'm like, what you talking about? What I do? Like, you only post about sports. Like, we talked about this. Like, what's up? What's that? Let people in. And I posted a clip of one of our episodes. I think it was chapter 6 about that conversation we had about it's not always about you. Sometimes you got to do things for other people. Just to what you just said. I am gonna put myself out there. Love it or hate it, this is me. And I think that's the best you can live with. I think a lot of people, and maybe a part of the reasoning for me was thinking about how to present yourself, not uncomfortable being yourself, but thinking about how you want to present yourself on a platform like that. And I've really just lost all that. I don't really care. Whatever. I ain't got the energy to keep trying to do this or that. Like, y'all just gonna get the real, raw, authentic, and that's just what it's gonna be. And if you don't rock with it, you don't rock with it. Chances are, I don't listen, man. I only talk to a few people anyway.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So other people's opinions don't even whatever, man. It's whatever. I'm gonna see you again. We don't speak. It ain't none of that. And I just say that in a way of sometimes we just get in our own heads, and really it ain't that deep. Like, people don't care. Like, and I'm trying to be better about even speaking positive things, even things of saying like, nobody cares about what I gotta say. Nah, people do.
Mm-hmm.
People do, and I don't want to downplay it. I don't want to downplay that because not a lot of people are in that position. So it's really one of those things where I'm excited to get.
We get worried about the impact of it too. Like for us, I know we have similar personalities. It ain't even necessarily that we worried about the bad feedback, because who gives a fuck about that, like you said. But it's like, am I doing this and it's not and not getting no impact because I'm doing something wrong? Or is it just not resonating with people? Like, why does this only have 13 views versus I see some shit that I roll my eyes at and it got 15,000 views?
You know why?
And then you start thinking about, okay, well, what do I need to do to get like that 15,000 nigga versus the what I'm getting? And then you get all in your head about that. Then it's like, well, I don't even want to do it because now you're telling me I got to post at a certain time and you got to tell me I got to do this and do that. Like, nah, fuck all of that. But that shouldn't matter. If there's a purpose in what you're doing, shout out, I'm still finished. I'm finishing up Monk and the Ferrari, man. They going in on these last chapters. But just if there's a purpose in what you're doing, then the results as far as productivity really don't matter because I'm serving a purpose of what I want to do. Something I feel like I'm putting out to the world. So I don't worry about the views and shit. And I think that's something that has inhibited, that's kept me from doing it.
Yeah, it don't matter, man. The views all that stuff gonna come. You know what the difference is between those 15,000 views and the 13?
Mm-hmm.
The person that does the 15,000 views, man, they started at 13 and they've been posted every single day, multiple times a day for 12, 13, 14, 15 months. You know what I mean? And they build it because they work the algorithms and they done the work and they know what to do. They ain't just on some, oh yeah, it is what it is.
That's a part of it too, though, Rich. You're right. Because now you're like, okay, I see what you have to do. Do I want to commit to that? Like, do I want to make this a part of my day now? Like, for example, the nigga that blew up off the Target shit, like when he parked the car backwards and all of that shit. I know he grinded. I know he did. But think about how many Saturdays you got to take out of your life to go put the tripod up at Target, back into like, and like you just got to do that and make that now a part of your life versus like it's something I'm trying or something I think I might be good at.
That's where Mo's advice kicks in. Y'all can find a way to do it. That's y'all. Because that's not me. That's not you. There's no way y'all listen. If y'all ever see me setting up that tripod in the parking lot, it's got bad for your boy. It's gotten bad for your mans. I'm telling you.
Or you figure something out. You figure something out that work for you.
I can't see that ever working for me. I'm open to everything in 2025.
That's the locking in part. That's the locking in part.
Right.
You may have figured something out that worked for you because look, here's the thing. We obviously know that it works. Like we know that. We know doing shit like that works. So how do I fit that into who I feel like I am? Right? Like, am I going to fucking sit here and talk 4-5 minutes every day and post that on IG? Am I going to do interviews in the fucking mall asking people questions? Or I'm going to do the Target videos or get ready with me? Those are the things that people consume. That's what TikTok is paying people for. But you got to figure out what works for you. Like, shout out to Mo. And that's what I think that's what me and you in the think tank right here for. Like, people can tell us what more they would want to see from us. And I think that'll help us mold the ideal. But that's something I'm heavy on in 2025.
Yeah, man. And there's a girl I know went to school with. She's got her own business, and she randomly made a post about content creating accountability partners, and it was an anonymous thing. She was like, "If you're interested, message me." So I messaged her. There's like 6 of us in this chat now, and we just keeping up to date. Like, what's the business? And it's literally on some anonymous stuff. Like, I know 2 of the people because I know them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I know who they are because of contacts when she made the group, but everybody else I don't. And it's pretty much just what's your field, So there's hospitality, there's therapy, art, podcasting, everything. Like I said, it's about 6 people. What's your goal? How are you gonna get there? And then just keeping people updated. Yo, I just posted a video today that y'all check it out. Blah blah blah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, and it's cool, but it's the timing too. It's the timing though too. That happened yesterday. Homegirl reached out to me today. Like, it's something like when you really on it.
But the universe talk to you. Like that's
talking to you, man. You gotta accept it.
Yep. When you open up and you know what your passion and your focus is, like like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it to everybody. Tell me that they read it. Like the Monk and the Ferrari deals with that specific thing. Like you start to notice things, and things start to happen that wouldn't have once you start living in your purpose.
Nah, that's real, man. And whether I know everybody got different beliefs. Whether you say it's the universe, I prayed for it. However you want to look at it, it's talking to you. You got to be open to it.
You said you prayed for it, man. They had me at church. Let me tell you the last time I've been to church, Rich. Niggas fooled me. The fam had me at church. My cousin and my mom, good too. Try to ask me like real, like, well, we figured you just. I was like, yeah, come on, man. Yeah. I don't have nothing against church. It don't do anything for me. But shout out to the brother, man. It was Watson Grove in Nashville, Tennessee. He had a nice sermon though. Like he was up to date. Like it was a black dude, younger, maybe a couple years younger than me or older, like right in the same age range. He did a really good job though. I wasn't mad that I was there, and it was quick. My biggest thing I used to hate about church is being there all day.
We gonna have that conversation one day on here. We gonna have
about what church.
We're gonna have a conversation on here about your religion. Yeah, I'm very curious about it. Because I went to church. It had been a while since I've been to church, but I went to church with my mom before I went back to Cincinnati. Just popped up on her. I know how much that means to her as well. Exactly. And the message was extremely timely. Yeah, and the message was extremely timely. I needed that.
It always seemed to work like that. It always seemed to work like that, like it be. So I guess it's what we were just talking about. But yeah, I knew it was important to them, so I didn't want to be like a dickhead and not go. But I wasn't mad that I went, man. And that's the first time again I've been to church. It's been at least, other than like a funeral or a wedding, it's been at least 10 years. I would say easily 10 years.
That's interesting, man. We're gonna talk about it. Like I said, we're gonna designate a day, just to talk about it because I like having those type of conversations because everybody looks at things one way, right?
Yep.
Everybody looks at things one way, and I've never had a conversation about why somebody doesn't go to church or why it doesn't do anything for them. I think that's interesting. I think that's fascinating, and I'd love to have that. And not just me and you, obviously, but somebody who's really because I'm not. Listen,
we have to get Portia in on that.
I'm not the person. Probably Rachel. Rachel,
Rachel go to
Rachel
church?
in the choir. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Rachel involved in the church. Yeah, absolutely. She grew up. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe even Rachel, and that's the thing, man. So yeah, we'll circle
Yeah,
back
that'll
to
be a
that. But
fun conversation. Another thing I
um,
did, man, I watched I've been putting it out forever. I watched the Joe Budden interview with Dr. Umar. Did you ever watch that?
I never did, man. But I've seen
Bro,
the clips on it.
it is worth it. It's worth watching it fully through. Let me tell you what made me watch it was a clip. You probably seen it. You know Ish.
Yeah,
And Dr. Umar comes to a point in the conversation where he realizes something and he like taps the couch and he
tap the
asks Ish.
couch. Yeah,
Yeah, he asks Ish, he's like, are you mixed? Ish was like, nah. But like he said, well, do you date white girls? He was like, yeah. It's like, that's it. But that's one of the best podcasts. I had to go watch the whole thing to see the build up to that. And it
yeah.
was so funny watching it because I watched it on YouTube. You could see before he did that, he was really
Saw the look on
perplexed.
his face.
He was perplexed. That was a real-time reaction. Dr. Umar was real deal perplexed by some of the views that Ish had. He was like, this ain't adding up. Because it seemed one
I
type of
saw
way.
him staring in the distance, almost like, and
Bruh,
then that moment of clarity hit him. Was like, oh snap! Hilarious.
hey, that's something I would advise. Like when you ever get a spare like hour and a half, like or just want to watch it like straight through it to that moment, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out, man. I
Anything
think
over
since
there?
the end.
My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, go ahead, go with your point. Go with your point.
I was just gonna ask for you anything like that you did that you wouldn't have done because I wouldn't have watched that or had time to. I wouldn't have went to church. So I'm just thinking about some of the things over the break that I wouldn't have done that I got to do. Of course, spend time with the family.
Yes,
Watched a lot of TV and got some new shows in that I wouldn't have watched. One I suggest. I cannot wait. I cannot wait till you watch that show that I suggested to you. But yeah, I was just doing things like that I wouldn't have done because I would call myself quote unquote busy.
I like that, man. It's interesting, man. I spent time back home. I was home for a week, and I spent time really making sure that I'm gonna be the person that I say I am. And there were some things that I had to. I'm trying to be delicate about this. There are some things I had to disassociate with.
Yeah.
Some people I had to disassociate with, not in a bad way. I don't mean disassociation, but certain things couldn't keep going on the way they were going. Nothing against those people. It's just everything for me and where I am in life. And sometimes that's just one of those things when you are really trying to elevate. You really got to make sure that you're making room for the things that you're asking for. You know what I mean? Because if you get it, if you're terrible at money management and you praying for 100 million and you get 100 million, you're gonna blow it.
Yep.
We've all seen these, ESPN 30 for 30. We've seen the broke. They did a part 2. That's how bad it is. They did a part 2. You feel me? Like, and you look at it as an individual and saying, well, how you get 50 million in your career and you blow it? How you broke now? And then there's people who have $500 in their bank account and they can blow that as well. It's the same thing. If you don't know how to manage the money, then you're not going to be able to sustain it for its intents and purposes. And I look at life the same way, man. If you don't make yourself ready and really do the work, and the groundwork, the uncomfortable work, the stuff that you still want to do. It's like, man, nah, man, this don't serve me. This don't serve me anymore in my life and where I'm trying to go. Maybe it will another time. Maybe it'll circle back. But right now, as you see the episode title, man, gotta lock in.
Facts.
Gotta lock in. And that was one of those things, man. I'm not good at that. I'm good at just kind of keeping everything a steady wave. And that's how I knew, man. All right, man, you really serious about where you're trying to take things. Because you were able to go ahead and change some habits and behaviors. I've been in the gym since the end of November, bro. 6 days a week.
Up, man. I fell off.
Today, but check me out, man. Today, as a recording today, it's week 7, day number 4. I've been going 6 days a week, no excuses. I took, like, no excuses, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's so now it's to the point where I go back home and people are like, damn, you look good. Like, I'm enough far along in the process to where other people can notice. Especially if they ain't seen you in a minute. Like, yeah, and I feel good. I feel great. And there's something just about waking up. And at first it started with just getting to the gym. 2 weeks going to the gym of those 6 days. Then it was like, all right, I'm locked in. Like, it's gonna feel funny if I don't go. Then it turned into, all right, Let me wake up at 5 and get there. And there's something about that mindset of waking up, being productive, and just knowing like I'm working while people sleeping. People counting Z's right now, and I'm here getting it in. It just mentally, it makes me feel like, all right, you that nigga today. You that nigga right now. Like you putting it in.
When you wake up at 5, what time are you starting work?
I'm starting work at 8.
Okay. How long you work out for?
Usually about an hour.
What time you go to
45
sleep?
45 minutes to an hour. 10. I've been going to sleep at 10, 10:30.
Getting to bed by 10. Okay.
Yeah. So this has been the first week where it's been kind of tricky. So last night, Wednesdays, we do Good Earners. Good Earners is long form. So I know we ain't going to be finished till about 10, 10:30.
Yep.
And it takes a little bit of unwind, so it's a little bit more tricky, but I try to adjust to that. But either way, I only bring up the gym just because.
Was it hard getting up today?
Yeah, it was. It was hard because every day I've been able to control what time I'm going to sleep.
See, I'm trying to map this out in my head through you. How long do it take you to get to the gym?
It takes me 15 minutes. So I got probably 30 minutes round trip of drive time. So I count that into it. I make sure one thing that I do is I make sure the night before my gym clothes are already out, my work clothes are already out. Because if they ain't, it's slow.
I ain't got to do nothing.
I got to do it the night before. Yeah, I get everything ready. So by the time I get to the gym, I can get home from the gym, I can shower, change, and I'm out. And that's with me getting to work 15 minutes early. Like I still got a little bit of wiggle time if I need it. But it's really just about making the plan and just going with it. And I just told myself, man, I'm just going to do that. And let me not front. I do have a benefit of some days being able to work from home. Some weeks, should I say. And that makes it a whole lot easier. I see the wheels turning in your head.
They are, because I know that I'm just being lazy when I say I can't.
Yeah, but I was about to say Spike 9. All it is get up and do it. We ain't doing that this year, bro. No, Spike, stop. We're not doing that this year. I'm telling everybody right now.
I'll probably be up at 6 anyway.
I'm telling everybody right now. Yeah. If you close with me, if you my friend, my brother, my family, I'm telling you right now, 2025, it's gonna be a very contentious relationship if you ain't on it. It is, man, because I'm not letting anybody who I know is on it like slack. I'm not, and I'm gonna be the spearhead of it. I'm gonna be every single day. Like I just told you, 5 a.m. There's a certain little umph on your step. Shout out to Phil. Phil was doing it before me. Like Phil was the one that was on that. Like I see his alarm, his workout go off in the morning and all that kind of stuff. Walking. He got 4 girls at home, 5 and under. Like, no excuse.
The family pictures, man. Beautiful family pictures.
Yeah, beautiful family, man. Yeah, no excuses though. So I'm like, all right, then, here I am. Ain't got nothing going on. So now I'm in that mode. All right, bet. Now we on it. Now the challenges come. So then you start. Well, I'm telling you, when you start 2 weeks in, you're gonna be like, all right, man, I'm on it. And then you're gonna start feeling better. You're gonna start looking better. You're gonna start. Your mind is gonna be more locked in. These goals gonna start coming. It's really a mental thing because it's like I can do whatever. I can do whatever, and I'm just taking more risks, man. I'm answering. Mo inspired me for this, man. One thing right now, I'm really like I told you earlier. I'm done downplaying myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also in the mode where you just got to go out and get it. Like, I'm just going out and getting it. Like it ain't nothing. Like when I say shit out, Mo, because that James Gandolfini interview, and I know you've interviewed people like big time people and stuff like that. So it was just another day in the office for the legend Spike Lee. But that was a big deal for me, and I know that was a big deal for you. I'm saying that facetiously, but I also know I'm giving you props to your experience and your work in this game. Like your resume is long. You've done this. I've been doing this longer than you. Been doing this more than you, like Kanye said. But for me, that was a big deal because that was something. There's something about seeing something and experiencing it for the first time. That was something I never even envisioned. And we talked about that before, just having that big dream, having that big vision, right? You got to see it. Like, don't sell yourself short. And when we started this, and when I joined Good Earners, I never saw ourselves talking to a cast member of The Sopranos. Like, that just wasn't even a thought. It wasn't that it couldn't happen. I just didn't even think like that. And it's like, damn, if it was left up to me and you, given how everything played out, and the messages that started coming in from this dude, if it was up to me and Spike, man, it wouldn't have happened. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. We would have never followed up on it. But Mo, being Mo, his superpower, as you like to say, reached out, set the connection, found out it really was the guy, got on the phone, and we set up an interview. And I was like, damn, like, if I would have just let that slip through the crack. Like, I just let that slip through my fingers, and it would just been what it was. So that inspired me. And really, it was just a random conversation with Rachel to reach out to an organization about something. Next thing I know, we getting emails. They telling me, "Oh, we already familiar with y'all. We want to set up some time to be on the podcast and discuss some things." I'm not saying who it is and stuff until we iron out the details.
Right.
But it was just a cool moment of just being like, you know what? Let me just reach out and say what's up. Like, what's going on? Let me ask. And it's like, all right, once these things start happening and you see that it can be a real thing, it's like, all right, now I need to reach the wider audience. And by doing that, I got to be on top of my things and I got to lock in. I just got to lock in, and that's all it is. So all these ain't no all the stuff we did in 2024, like, yeah, I'm gonna put this together. I ain't thinking about it no more, bro. We just doing it. We just doing it. If I'm sitting around and I'm saying I need to make more reels, then guess what? Whatever I'm doing can stop and I'm making more reels. Like, because that's the only way it can be done. Otherwise, I'm gonna push it off to tomorrow, and tomorrow's gonna turn into 2026, and we ain't on that bullshit.
I love the real-time realizations that come from having conversations like this, and that's what makes this podcast unique. I couldn't even make this up. I literally just had this conversation with Daniel today. Shout out Dan. People heard him that for me. Like, he literally said, my slogan for this year is, okay, what are we doing? Like, we can talk about it all day, but what's the next active step in making it happen? And it sounded like I was hearing the conversation again when you were just saying it. And I think that attributes to what we were talking about with the universe and it telling you, like, okay, bro, y'all been doing this long enough. What's the next step?
Yeah.
It ain't about the planning and doing this. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing next? How are you locked the fuck in? So that's just, as you were saying that, it was like fucking deja vu, just coming from a deeper, raspier voice. It's insane how the universe works. So I agree with you 100% in a sense and a sentiment to have. And I appreciate the people that are listening, that listen to us and take stuff from these episodes every week too, because I know they're going to apply it too. And I know some of them I'm going to hear from them. And they're going to be on the same mindset that you said. Like, if you ain't doing what you say you're doing, I'm going to be a rough person to deal with this year.
I'm gonna
sorry.
I'm gonna be a fucking
I
headache,
love you.
man.
Yeah, I love you.
I'm gonna get cussed out. Nah, niggas,
right,
my dogs gonna cuss me out this year, bro. And I'm gonna be disappointed if it. Well, I won't be disappointed because that means everybody on top of their game. But I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna be. It's like, okay, like I understand.
I'm expecting
like,
who the fuck is
you should be
to?
mad. I know you mad at yourself, and that's why you taking it out on me like that. Like that's the way that I'm looking at it from the approach that I gotta have. Like, yeah, okay, I understand that you mad, and I understand that you feel like that I maybe approached it the wrong way, but in so many words, I'm telling you that you're bullshitting, and I appreciate it when you tell me that I'm bullshitting. Like, that's the phase that you got to be on at our stage in life. Like, it can't be no more. I'll look over this. It's cool. Like, this my homeboy. I've been knowing him for this many years. Like, it's fine. I got to coddle around this conversation. Like, nah. Like, then it really ain't a person that you need to be dealing with. One of the things that I said that I want to address mostly in my life this year is the people that are around me and that I associate with. I want to make sure that they're on an upward path. I don't want to be dealing with anyone this year that's cool with where they at. I can't because it's going to make me complacent as well. Like, that's going to put me in a place where that energy is cool for me, and it's just not. Now, I ain't got to be around the niggas, the no sleep gang. Like, there's some sensibility to it, but there has to be forward motion in every sense of the word. Like, there needs to be where things are moving forward. We're doing this, we're doing that. We're paying attention to what may keep us stagnant. So I'm appreciative and open to that energy all year. I got asked a question today that I want to ask you because it stumped me, and it kind of made me, to the title of the show, Lock the Fuck In, make me understand that I do need to lock the fuck in. Somebody asked me, he was like, what are you doing? What skill are you working on to better yourself this year? Like, what specifically? Like, what is it that you want to be better at? And I was like, damn, that's a really good question. Because I'm doing this macro thing where I'm looking at it all, everything, and thinking I'm trying to get better at this. When really one of the best parts and first parts of self-improvement is, okay, what's that one thing that you're holding yourself accountable for to be better at this year? What is it?
Is that and let me ask you how you took this. When you hear that, are you thinking about a skill or you thinking about a trait?
A skill.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question.
It made me feel a type of way because I didn't know. I did not know. And I know that I needed to know. And those are questions that I want to be asked by the people around me. Like those are the type of conversations that I'm trying to have. Yes,
Yeah,
it's really cool to kick the shit and talk TV, movies. I love. I don't want to stop doing that and be this rigid person, but I want to have the conversations with the people that I care about like how we moving forward, like how we making sure that a fucking accident, mistake, or something just don't take take us out. And I'm talking about financially or even,
yeah,
God forbid, not being health wise where you're not working out. Like, how are we making sure, like, putting an effort towards, like, I got stake in the game. I'm at the point where we got stake in the game. Like, we can't live. And I think what we get comfortable at in the rough transition from being the age that we're coming from the age that we're in now, it's like there's a lot more stake in the game, bro. It's just a lot of
man.
places I'm not trying to be, a lot of people I'm not trying to talk to, a lot of situations I'm not trying to have myself in because I got too much stake in the game.
That 100% I agree with it. You said that so well said, man. I also want to add on there. I want to enjoy life more with some people I really care
Yeah,
about. I want to do
exactly.
a lot more of that too. It's not always the grind, and I've been so caught up on the grind. And listen, I understand, and I've mentally, I'm at the point where I know where I am in life as far as mentally and what needs to be done. But I also know it's only a part of life. I don't have to live every day like this. I know I'm in a very specific part where if you lock the fuck in for however long, this next 2, 3 years, your life can change.
Yep.
And then you can get back to being that person you always been and being there for people and showing up. But for right now, you got to be a little bit selfish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out to my dog Dancy,
Exactly.
man. My dog Sleaze. He's the one that told me, man. He said, man, you just in your selfish mode of life right now, bro. You can't feel bad about that. Like
That's a
I
fact.
know you like showing up for everybody, but you can't let that bother you. And ever since he told me that, I just been, you know what? Cool. Like
That's a
I'm
fact.
giving people what I got. And when the time I do have, I'm making sure I'm very intentional about it. But everything else, 100%. It's funny we mentioned the contention um, about what's going to happen if things don't, you know, if the crew ain't or the team isn't reaching their abilities every single day, getting 1% better, however you want to read it. And I just posted something on January 5th on my story. It just said, make sure your circle includes people who will tell you, no, are you sure? Have you thought about it this way? That was inappropriate. We
Mm,
have to have people in our circles who will push back, challenge, and therein make us better, all from a place of love. And you just
man,
echo something just like that. And that's what I posted that January 5th and didn't even think we'd be talking about it today. But it
yeah,
comes back, man. That's the team that I'm really want around. Like just making sure, are we all getting better? Are we letting shit slack in a real way? Like I
it
can't
ain't.
sit here and say I love you and let you bullshit. Unless you
Fact.
tell me that. Funny story, funny, hilarious story. And if she's listening, she's about to laugh. I was talking to Rachel. We were recording this past Saturday, and we were just talking, you know, pleasantries, all that stuff, catching up. And she was like, you know, I got a couple things in 2025 that I want to get done. And she must have seen the light bulb go off in my head. We know each other so well. So she
Mhm.
must have seen the look in my eye. And I was like, all right, cool. So, and she, listen, before I even got another word out, she said with the dead serious, I'm not telling you because I ain't trying to be held accountable. And I got weak as fuck. Like, you know what, Rachel? I respect that.
Yeah, like I'm trying.
I
I'm on board.
respect
I'm
that.
on my bullshit. Like why?
Yeah, I loved it though, because she told me right away, and
No, that's real
she
though.
knew me well enough to know exactly what was about to come out. She was like, nah, I don't even want you to know because I ain't trying to be held accountable. And I'm like, you know what? I got you. So if you listen, if you pulling a hey man, these are just thoughts. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to execute. I'm just floating shit around. I ain't gonna be on your ass. I get it. This is for the people who like really are saying I want to get better.
Hey, that's the thing though, because I think me and you got similar personalities. I ain't even gonna let you know if I don't want to be held accountable. Like I ain't even gonna tell you about it. It's just something that I'm playing around with in my head. But once I vocalize it to you, I'm expecting that from people around me that are trying to make me. That's the expectation. So I think that's like where you were going with it, as far as how we do have similar personalities. Like, okay, you're gonna tell me that you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask
Yeah,
you about it. Versus
yeah.
like when me and you, we wouldn't even say it if we wasn't expecting someone to hold us accountable. That's funny though. That's funny as hell.
Nah, that was hilarious, man.
I
Shout
gotta
out. There's
figure
only
out the
one Rachel.
answer. I gotta figure out the answer to that question too. And I hope people remember or remind us to ask us like, what skill am I
Nah,
working on?
I've already got it
I
down in the notes. When do you want to have that answer by? Next week, week after?
I'm gonna be thinking about this all weekend. You know, I'm an overthinker, so I may have it by next show. But that definitely is one that I need to know because it just stumped me, and I was so like taken aback because I ain't usually stumped. I know how to talk, and it's like, well, dang,
Right. Even if I got to bullshit something, I can give you
no.
an answer.
Yeah, if you like got a bullshit, I got through the question like for the purpose of the situation that I was in, but it was still I wasn't confident with the answer that I gave. It was some bullshit. Like and if that person that asked me knew me, they would have knew it was some bullshit. Like you would have knew it was some bullshit. The answer that I
Yeah.
gave, but
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I need to work on that.
Nah,
So
that's real,
that's
man.
one thing that I'm gonna be focused on this weekend. Well, excuse me, this week.
Cool. Listen, I sent you, we talked about it briefly. I sent you the text message. This ain't gonna be a long episode. We're probably gonna wrap up here soon, but I sent you the text message earlier this week because it was kind of the start. January 6th was kind of the start of the normal flow of the new
Monday.
year.
That was the first Monday
Yeah,
of the
that,
new
that
year.
was that was the first Monday of the new year. Just kind of really got everything locked in. And I made sure I sent Mo a text as well, but it was less vulgar. Um, but I sent you the text. You know what I mean? Spike Lou, my dog, my brother. We back at it this week. It's the start of the year that's gonna change our lives. Let's lock the fuck in and be great. No excuses. We're too talented for that.
Facts.
That's the tone for this year, man. We're too talented for that, man.
It
No
was
matter
great to
what,
read too.
if
Great to
it
read.
takes it, because that's the type of stuff that gets me out of bed in the morning. Like
Yeah.
that's how I need to be talked to for real to kind of put that spark. And that's just how I'm feeling. Naturally, right now, I'm just in a space where I have that spark. And like I said, I'm not to an annoying sense to where if you ain't on that, it's gonna be like, get this fucking super hyper nigga around for me. But just saying, like, nah, man, like I said, seeing things happen, experiencing things happen, being able to be in situations where I never thought possible. Once again, Killer Mike said it, man. I told him I want 100 mil. He said, think bigger. I need to start thinking bigger. And B, going after what I want, man. A lot of this stuff isn't just because it just fell in the lap. I think Tyler Creator had some good clips about this. Like, how you gonna make how you gonna create art and not promote it? Like, that don't make no sense. Like, who cares how many you get it? He said, man, I'll be on pages. He said, I'll be on YouTube pages and hearing some music that's fire. That shit got 16 views. But I'm one of the people. You never know who's listening. You never know who's gonna be locked in. And once again, sometimes people be locked in, but what they gonna tell you for it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta reach out yourself and be like, yo, what's up? Oh, yeah, I've been checking you out for a minute. Let's do this. All right, bet. Let's just go out there and get there. And if I can live with that, I can't wait for anything to fall in my lap anymore because that ain't the case.
Yeah.
Like,
Ain't
it's not
nobody
really
coming to
like
save
that.
us.
Ain't
Ain't
nobody
nobody
coming
coming
to
to
save
save
at
us.
all.
One of the to speak to one of the points that you made and what it takes a lot of people a hard time. And when I'm talking, I'm not talking at people. I know people are smart that are listening to this, but just thoughts that I have in my head from what I've experienced with people as I'm out on a day-to-day basis that own businesses. And when I'm talking to them, people don't understand that you can't just be good at something. If you're running a business, like you can be a sole proprietor and I'm just good at this, and people call me every now and again because they want me to do this for them. That's fine. But if you're saying I'm going to turn this thing into a business, then people need to know what and how you do what you do. It's the reason that McDonald's still buy advertising space at the Super Bowl. It's the reason that you still see Apple commercials. And everybody knows what an iPhone is. I don't need a commercial for you to explain to me that y'all got a new iPhone. I probably know from somebody that I talk to. However, there's a presence that you have to establish whenever you're doing something in whatever space. And my lack of marketing in the space that I've been in is the reason that I'm in the position that I'm in. Same thing with like we a lot of people have to understand and realize, and this is not just podcasting space. We ain't talking about just posting reels. We ain't talking about just that. We're talking about I have a business, I do this thing, and I get by. I have the people who word of mouth talk to each other and they told their friend about it, and I got the business from that. That's cool. But you still have to market your business. That like a lot of people don't understand what marketing is and what it means to have a presence in the space that you work in. And you have to establish that presence whatever way you see fit. If you're doing get ready with me videos, if you're doing fucking rating albums, whatever it is, people still have to understand the presence that you have in the space. And that's what I want to work on. That's what we all can be better at. I know the people that I have established relationships with, like just establishing a presence in places in whatever it is that you do.
I love that. I love that. That's real. And not only that, it's about being able to understand what it is that you were even trying to market.
Yep.
I think that's a real important part of it too. Shout out to Lombardi, man. Mike Lombardi. I know we've talked about him before.
It's my guy.
Yeah, it's my guy, man. He over at Carolina now, so the pod going. I'm salty, man. I know me and Phil listen to it every week. But the point I'm making is, he would always say, man, if you can't explain your business plan in 30 seconds, you don't have a business plan.
Yep.
You don't have a business. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just be stuttering and mumbling. You have to know exactly what it is that you provide, who you're trying to provide it to, and how it's going to work. You should be able to explain what you do in 30 seconds. And if you can't, you need to get back to the drawing board. So not only just being out here and doing those things, but also, all right, then making sure I understand exactly what it is. And that's going to take some tweaking. That takes some time. That takes some years.
You got to figure it out. And that's what a lot of people get hung up on. They think that they should know that automatically. That's something you got to sit and think with, bro. Those are meditative thoughts. That's something you got to like really fucking clear your mind, write shit out, go back to the shit that you wrote out, read over that, get new thoughts, sit there, don't write anything, close your eyes, think with the meditation music. Like, those are the places that you have to go to get those answers. Like, because you're going to look for them on Chat GPT and YouTube and all these gurus that'll tell you how to get rich quick and whatever it may be, or how to market yourself. All that shit fine as far as the information. But you got to really sit with yourself, have a real true understanding of what it is that you're saying, regardless of what you're doing. And that's got to be solid to you. And then you build it out from there. It's similar to that thing that I sent you, the little diagram that I sent you. We can talk about that.
That was cold.
It helped me.
That was cold.
Like, you really got to sit with your thoughts about what it is that you're trying to do. And that's what I want to do more of again this year. Like, it's saying we can sit here and we can have these conversations because we know what we're supposed to be doing. But what it means behind what we're doing is a different thing. And that's the thing that drives it. So,
yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this year. Like I said, it's a year of action. It's a year of taking it. It's a year of no excuses, man. You either get excuses or results. You can't have both. Like, you just can't. It's impossible. So we all about results, man. You're going to have those days where you slip up, or the days where it's a little bit slow. That's cool. That's human. We're going to rest. We're going to get our mind back right, and we're going to get right back to it. We're not going to get complacent and fall back into any kind of bad habits. We're going to accept things for what they are, and we're going to keep it pushing, man. This is all for a reason. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of people in my circle, in my life, that I'm just big fans of, man, and big believers of. There's even some people that have led the way, man, and shown what an idea can turn into. You know what I mean? I think about my dog, Matt, man, MT, corporate. Like, his story, he's turning 17, I believe, this year. No, 18. No, 17. It was 2008. But just where he is and just where it started. I love watching people's journeys who just don't give up and really believe in what they do, even if they're the only ones that believe it. And like I said, I never thought that being in school's room one day saying, you know, we should just start a movie podcast and doing it would even lead to what I'm doing now. But now it's all part of the journey, and I'm excited for it. And the people that I met, it's not been by mistake, man. So to me, to you, to Mo, to Ray P, to School, to Ash, to Mia, to everybody who's a part of this like thing. Like, I listen, Phil, because we got the Bengal stuff, man. I think Phil's super talented. Chaz. Like, the best episode ever. That's gonna be coming.
Man. It's been too long, man. We got to get back together.
Chaz called me, man. Chaz called me like, "What's up, man?" I told him. I said, he called me at the end of December, and I told him the game plan. I said, it's gonna be spring likely, man. I want to make sure we get Sopranos out the way. I want to add some more stuff to the plate. Like I said, we're gonna be the maximum version of ourselves. We got to be smart about it too. Facts. So we only got 10 more weeks of Sopranos, so we can knock that out. Get best episode ever going. Just started talking about ideas. Just everybody, man. I just work with a lot of dope people, talented people. And this is the year where you all gonna elevate, man. And I promise you, if we all lock in, it can be wonders, man. And I have no problem leading the charge on that and just making sure I'm doing what I say I'm doing every single day and making sure we all good. And that's not only for us, man. That's for all the bookworms out there as well. Also, shout out Portia, man. I ain't mentioned Portia, but Portia in her space, man. I think she's really about to do big things. Man, listen, we after it. We in it, and there's no excuses. I'm telling you. If somebody tells you no, you're going to find a yes somewhere. That's what we're doing. And I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about where things are. I'm excited where I am mentally, where I am physically, spiritually, the whole nine. We're going to get better, man, every single day. Every single day, dog. Like, straight up. That's what it comes down to. So that's all I got, man. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Nah, that was well said. Like, anything else would be just whoa, it's like just running on the corner.
I'm about to swerve in the corner. Whoa, whoa. That's a perfect way to go out, man.
Anything else would have been swerving on the corner, like whoa.
Nah, man, that's real shit. Shout out to LeVar. Shout out to the Bookworms. This is
Yep.
chapter 15, man. Listen, whatever you got to do to get in that place, get there, lock the fuck in. That's what we're doing this year. And if you ain't, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a rough time. But
facts,
shout out
man.
to all
And
y'all, man.
Interact. Keep the pressure on us too. AWITB2022 @gmail, Instagram page, all of those things. Interact with the show. Let us know what you guys, the mode that you're in 2025. We want it to be a lot more interactive as well in 2025. So yeah, make sure that y'all tap in.
Yeah, we're gonna do our part, man. Please do y'all's as well in regards to that, because we would love to just talk to y'all. And I think a lot of people out there, a lot of our listeners and viewers have incredible input and incredible insight into things, especially on our conversation. So we appreciate all y'all. With that being said, we're gonna see y'all next week for chapter 16. Bid y'all well. Y'all be cool. Y'all be cool. We out.
Peace.